The Miami Heat took advantage of its no Giannis opportunity in Game 3 with a resounding 121-99 dismantling of the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night to take a 2-1 series lead. Jimmy Butler led the way with 30 points and Duncan Robinson added 20. The Bucks, who beat the Heat without Giannis in Game 2, badly missed him in Game 3 on a night where the Heat were clicking on all cylinders on both ends of the court. Only 4 8 seeds have beaten top seeds from the playoffs in NBA history, none since Memphis did it to San Antonio 12 years ago. There's a long way to go, but the Heat are halfway to achieving that. What's going on, everyone? It's Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the Miami Heat and why they're a dangerous playoff team. If you guys can do me a solid favor, drop a like on the video. It does help the algorithm a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Miami Heat and NBA content just like this. Your support is greatly appreciated. The Miami Heat, who ranked 25th offensively in the regular season, rank first offensively in the playoffs so far, having scored 123.5 points per 100 possessions in 3 games against what was the league's 4th ranked defense. The Heat have shot a playoff best 50%, 47 for 94 from 3-point range in their first round series so far. With Tyler Hero for the foreseeable future with a broken hand, Duncan Robinson has been needed, and he's looked like his old self over the last couple of games. Robinson's first bucket on Saturday night was a pull-up 3 off a 2-man game with Bam Adebayo and with Brook Lopez in drop coverage. And on the very next possession, we got more classic Robinson, with the Heat using him as a screener and then putting him on the move. And Robinson, I mean, he was absolutely in his bag in Game 3. I did not expect this. Robinson did this to Jrue Holiday, one of the best defenders in the league. He took Jrue Holiday off the dribble to the rim. He cooked him. Robinson, who celebrated his 29th birthday, finished with 20 points on 7 for 9 from the field and 5 for 6 on threes. Duncan Robinson is shooting 41.2% from 3 in his playoff career. You know this guy can turn it up, and you know he can be a lethal weapon for this Heat squad in a playoff series. And the Heat are going to need more of this Duncan Robinson down the stretch, especially if they want to pull off this round 1 upset. The Heat set a franchise playoff record with 12 first half 3-pointers on 19 attempts, and closing the night 16 for 33 on threes and shooting 54% overall. Jimmy Butler, of course, set the tone early, scoring 17 of his 30 in the first quarter alone. Jimmy Butler was on fire. He closed 12 for 19 from the field, including 4 for 4 on threes, to go with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. This was Butler's 14th 30-point playoff game in 4 seasons with the Heat, and he did it in only 28 minutes. Now, Butler did get a scare in this game as he went to the locker room late in the third quarter with a bruised glute minutes after he fell hard to the floor, landing on his back while jockeying for a ball and then falling again a few minutes later. He initially played through it before going to the bench and limping to the locker room. He returned to the Heat bench early in the fourth quarter and was actually cleared to return, but the Heat, with a comfortable lead, didn't need him to finish the game. And Eric Spoelstra said that Butler told him that he could have returned to the game, but the Heat obviously played it safe, as they should have. But it does look like that Jimmy Butler will be a go for Game 4 tomorrow night. So that is huge news for the Miami Heat, who are already shorthanded. They definitely need a healthy playoff Butler the rest of the way. We know how dangerous playoff Jimmy Butler is. He's like Kawhi, where he takes it up a notch when the competition is at its highest. And Jimmy Butler is relentless, and he really gets his team going as well. So look for Jimmy Butler to continue to bring it and push this Heat team in Game 4. Meanwhile, the Heat's bench was exceptional, delivering 59 points, including a Robinson-led 3-point barrage that helped push Miami's lead to 18 in the first half and 20 early in the fourth. And this is what's going to be also key for the Heat, is their bench. The bench of the Miami Heat can be a lethal component that can explode at any time. And the Heat got guys who can burn you. And Duncan Robinson leading that is going to be something to continue to look out for. I mean, this Heat bench can put a lot of pressure on teams, as they did in Game 3. Kyle Lowry, after a slow start to the playoff series, was very effective in this one with 15 points on 5 for 10 shooting, as the Heat outscored the Bucks by 27 points during his 27 minutes on the court. Caleb Martin had 12 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Victor Oladipo had 8 points, 2 steals. But of course, for as good as things were going for the Heat on this night, the joy of the night was sucked dry after Victor Oladipo's leg seemed to buckle on him while he rose for a layup late in the game. He fell to the floor holding his left knee and needed help from Eric Spoelstra and others to walk to the locker room. Jimmy Butler and other Heat players cursed and they winced on the bench because they knew at that point that Victor Oladipo's season was over. And it's been announced today via Shams that Oladipo has suffered a season-ending torn patellar tendon in his left knee. I absolutely hate this. I mean, it was so tough to watch this clip. Victor Oladipo worked so hard to get back onto the court, was playing very well with the Heat, and then this devastating injury happened out of nowhere. It was a non-contact injury. This is another injury that the two-time All-Star will now have to work hard to overcome. And Oladipo, I mean, when you look at this guy's career and the way it was going, he was on his way to becoming a superstar. And unfortunately, injuries derailed his career. I wish Oladipo all the best, and I truly hope he has a miraculous comeback and is back on a basketball court in the near future. So the bad news for the Heat is that they will now be without Oladipo for these playoffs. And remember, Tyler Hero, they also lost in Game 1 after he suffered a broken hand in the first half. Hero underwent surgery Friday and is looking at a 6-week timeline for his recovery. So the only way we'll see Hero back in these playoffs is if the Heat make it to the NBA Finals. Now, the biggest factor moving forward for this series will be Giannis's status. That is another big injury that has happened and has affected the Milwaukee Bucks. If Giannis doesn't play the rest of the way, the Heat should be able to move on through without any problems. But even if Giannis plays, the Heat will still have a solid chance to pull off this upset. The Heat are up 2-1 and have Game 4 on its home court. A perfect opportunity for them to go up 3-1 and really put the pressure on the Bucks. And we've seen this movie before. The Heat are a very dangerous playoff team. That's why it was funny to me how so many people were writing this team off. Yes, they were coming in not playing their best basketball. Yes, they were coming in as an 8 seed, but we know what this team is capable of doing. They made a surprise run during the bubble and made the finals that year, and they were a Jimmy Butler 3 away from making the finals last season. And the Heat basically have the same team that was a 1 seed and made that run last season this season, minus the injuries, of course. So you can't write these guys off. I knew coming into this year's playoffs that they would be a dangerous lower seed, and through the first 3 games of the playoffs, they've proven that. The Heat now have a golden opportunity to take down the Bucks and make another deep playoff run, as their side of the bracket is wide open. The winner of this Heat-Bucks series would take on the Cavs-Knicks, and then the Celtics or 76ers will await in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, there's still a long way to go in this current series, but if the Heat continue to play well and continue to apply the pressure offensively, they will be a tough out for the Bucks the rest of the way. So the Miami Heat, we will see how they now respond after losing another key player in Victor Oladipo. That's just been the one negative, if you will, for these playoffs so far for the Heat. They've been playing very well. They look like a team that you have to keep an eye out for, but another injury. First, a huge component of this team, Tyler Hero, out, and now another big component of this team, Victor Oladipo. So the Miami Heat, they're going to need their bench now to come through and some of the other guys to step up. The Miami Heat got to take care of opportunities when they present themselves. So Game 4 is going to be a massive, massive opportunity for the Heat to go up 3-1 in this series. Let's see if they can do it, and let's see if they can ultimately knock off the number 1 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks, in this year's playoffs. But Heat fans, how are you feeling after the first 3 games of this series? Do you think the Miami Heat have a chance to do something special these playoffs? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And again, guys, please hit a like on this video and please subscribe to the channel for more Heat and NBA content just like this. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all again in the next video.